Hi, Andrea. This is Sarah with Flourish at Artisan Indie, and I am recording a shop critique for your Etsy shop, Book Pearls Creations. I've seen you post in Flourish, and of course, you sent me a beautiful little booklet from what you make, and I absolutely adore your creations. I love the idea behind your craft shop, and I'm kind of excited to go through to see all the different things that you offer. So let's go ahead and get started. A lot of these things that I go over are going to be familiar to you because I know you've been to our Flourish conference. You've been in Flourish for a while, so I know a lot of these things you've probably either heard in a presentation or perhaps read in our Facebook groups. But just because you've gone over it or you've seen it or you've heard it, sometimes it doesn't make sense unless you're actually hearing it inside your own shop. So I think this is great. I'll be able to go through and look at each individual area to see what areas that you specifically have opportunity for. So let's look at your name, Book Pearls Creations. It's funny because I really like this branding as far as I love the fonts. I love the colors. I kind of know a little bit about what you do, so I think it's appropriate to see these books kind of back in the distance here in the background, but that they're kind of translucent. However, you're using the old size for the Etsy banner. Okay, so what does that mean? They last year, I think it was last year, might have been the year before, they resized the Etsy banner, the cover banner, and it's much larger. It's about like this big now. Or maybe this big. And so because you have the old one, if somebody is going from another Etsy shop to your shop, then automatically something's going to feel off. It's going to feel different. It's going to feel strange. And even if they don't recognize that you're missing the bigger banner, that little teeny tiny feeling of discomfort is kind of going against you. So you want to try to have your format the same as everyone else's. So that there's not that, wait a minute, that hesitation, that confusion for a second. So I would definitely do that. And you can simply go to Canva if you're not, if you're already really good with design, then I'm sure you can use Photoshop or Illustrator or something like that. But if you're not super savvy when it comes to those kinds of things, then you can go to Canva, canva.com. They have a template already for the Etsy banner, the Etsy shop cover. So you just click that particular choice, and then you can design, you can, drop in your own backgrounds or visuals as you like. All right, so I definitely would do that. Now you have kind of the same thing. You've brought it down in here, which is fine. Looks good. So people can start getting familiar with your brand, with your name. You want to make sure also that you're using that same branding in your social media. So that means if your Facebook cover photo or when you're posting through Instagram or on Pinterest, you want to make sure that your logo is kind of consistent throughout. I love this picture of you. It's a beautiful picture of you. You have a beautiful smile. This is a great way for people to be welcomed when they come into your store. Here you have what Etsy calls a tagline. And it's a great tagline, telling stories through art. Find your story here. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. However, I recommend that you take this amazing tagline and you put it up in the banner. So perhaps in this big banner that you're going to have, it'll say Book Pearls Creations, and then maybe along the bottom in maybe a similar font as this, you can have telling stories through art, find your story here. It's a great tagline, But what I want to do is teach you how to optimize your shop here on Etsy. And there's some areas, you know, it's not like you have full creative freedom in your Etsy shop, right? I mean, you have some, but Etsy shops are set up the same way. They have, you know, certain lines that you can put text in, and certain areas you can put pictures in, and there's only, you know, a few areas that you can manipulate. Well, this one is a big one. Even though Etsy calls it your tagline, it's actually an important line for the Google search algorithm. So, of course you want to be found on Etsy, but wouldn't it be also amazing if you could be found on Google? Well, this is a line that you can actually manipulate to put in keywords, sorry, that will flag the Google search engine when there are search queries that match the keywords that you put into this line. So example, instead of putting your tagline there, I would put perhaps what you sell. So maybe handmade cards and journals, space dash space. Let me see, phone case. How about handmade cards, journals, prints, and other designs, or something like that. I mean, you're really good with copy, so find a way to put a line in here that will incorporate strong keywords that describe what you sell. All right. And that way, when someone is searching handmade cards and journals, or, custom designed iPhone cases, or whatever they do in Google, there is a good chance that your shop, your Etsy shop, will be ranked and found and placed in the Google search. Okay. I don't know why I don't have your shop favored. Okay, here we go. So let's talk about this for a minute. I really love this. This is something new that Etsy is doing. They haven't announced it yet, so I think it's part of a test, and I really hope they keep it because I love the way that it looks. They have taken the featured items that, when you're in your shop dashboard and you star a listing, it tells Etsy that this is supposed to be a featured item. If you star 3, it'll show 3 pictures. If you star 4, it'll make those pictures a little smaller and it'll show 4 in a row, kind of like straight here. But now it's giving us the option, if we star 5, it'll give us this layout, which I love. Nice big picture here with 4 smaller pictures here. I feel that it gives Etsy shops a little bit more of a modern look and feel. I think it allows you to showcase something that's on special or maybe something seasonal. So make sure that you're using this to your benefit. Right now, I don't feel that this picture is probably the best one that you want to feature. It doesn't really show much. It says your quote here, but that's not really exciting, right? I think it would be much nicer to showcase a handmade card, maybe to showcase Make Everyday Beautiful, like that is gorgeous, right? Maybe some of your mixed media. And honestly, what you should be putting in the featured section is seasonal and appropriate items for the holidays or the seasons that are coming up. So Mother's Day. Now you do have this as a Mother's Day card or a Mother's Day gift. You do have this as a Mother's Day watercolor. So perhaps these would be a little bit better to showcase, especially large here in this square. So all you have to do to change that is go under your dashboard and unclick the starred items and then re-star them in the order that you want them to show up here. So I would definitely probably do something else with this space. The same with this. I'm not sure if I would want that starred, although I mean it is interesting, like what's a reader's gift bag. So it's not horrible. I just would think that you would like a little bit cleaner and nicer of a picture. This is nice too. This needs to be a little cropped in a little bit more so I can't read what that says. Okay, this announcement space, this is a space that really, to me, is wasted. Usually what happens is someone's going to land on your page, they're going to look at your featured items, and then they're going to scroll right to the pictures pretty much, right? So it doesn't get a lot of visibility. When people have, a couple lines of text here, it just seems busy with all this other stuff going on. However, I have seen success in my clients' shops when they use this space as a call to action. So instead of 2 lines of text, you want to have 1, and you want that to be a demand of sorts. Like, click on our website at www.bookpearlscreations.com to receive 20% off your first Etsy purchase, or visit our blog at whatever your blog site is to learn how to do our monthly mixed media project, or follow us on Instagram to be the first to see our new designs, or something like that. Put a link. It's not going to be clickable, but that's okay, because the people that do see the line there, at least half of them will do what you're telling them to do. So even if you can get just a few more people signed up on your email list, or a few more followers on social media, it's a good thing. So at least it won't be so much of a waste of space for this section. Hopefully they do something a little different with this soon. All right, you have 99 items. That's a great amount of items. I think between 60 and 100 is perfect. Your section titles here, these are your section titles, right? The different categories that you have in your shop. You see how this is kind of choppy here? Kind of goes in and out. That's not good for the way that the page flows. When you have a user in your shop, a shopper in your shop, and they are, checking out everything, their eyes kind of flow from left to right, left to right, left to right. They're not going to really pay attention to this, because this is just a big blob of text that goes, it's kind of messy, right? It's not super easy to read unless they're focusing on it. But remember, they're not going through the sections like I am. I mean, they're kind of like scrolling kind of fast. That's how we shop, right? So you want to take these section titles and you want to organize them from the smallest word, which it would be Prince, down to the longest word or phrase, which it looks like would be parties and workshops. So it would be small, short word, and then a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. So it kind of just swoops down. And the reason why that is, it's something teeny tiny, but when someone looks at it and they look over there, they'll be able in one glance to read everything that you offer. And that could turn into another sale. They may be here to buy art from you and have no idea that you sell phone cases. But if they see that and they read it, then it's possible that they'll order one of those too. We're going to skip over the main part of your shop for a moment. I'm going to go down to the About section. You have a video. Let's check it out. Well, looks like my computer is wanting to think about playing it. In the meantime, let's look at your text. Facebook, Twitter, website, Pinterest, blog, Instagram. Awesome for having all those things hooked up. All right, I'm going to pause the recording, see if I can get this to unstick, and I'll start it right back up. Okay, so I got it to unfreeze. I won't play it again. I don't know if there is an issue with trying to play it here. Let me try. Maybe I'll try again. If it freezes again, I'll have to pause it again. Let's see. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to want to play. Oh, here we go.
Here's my studio. It's just a table with a bunch of paint, tons of canvases, and all sorts of wonderful things. I'm in the process of making different shapes and on canvases. So these are 5x7 canvases. I'm also working on some 8x10 canvases. What you see is my tools, some inspiration, cards that were given to me when I left my full-time position, and just some other things that make me happy. And so over here is my bed from my childhood that I still have. And so I have some art supplies up there, some canvases in process. When I moved out of my library office, I have all of that stuff. And I have some stencils on the wall, and we are having a snowy day here in the Apex area, which is outside of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Perfect. So that's great. That's fun. You got to kind of showcase your personality a little bit. Oh, sorry. You were able to show your space, your workspace, show kind of your materials and your art. So that's wonderful. Good job there. Probably what you want to showcase here more than like maybe your products. I mean, you're showing your workspace, which is awesome, but you also want to show maybe photos of yourself, or maybe of you and your family, or you and your pets. Let people get to know you a little bit. Kind of think of your about section as about you as an artist. You know, who are you and why do you do what you do? And, you know, how did you get started? Kind of tell your story here. That'll add a little bit more value to your products. All right. I need to talk to you also, by the way, just on a personal note. I need to talk to you about Raleigh. I live outside of the Atlanta area right now. My parents live just south of Fayetteville in North Carolina, in the Hope Mills area. And I'd like to move closer to them, but I'm kind of a city girl. I mean, I'm kind of a country and a city girl, but I need to have culture, and I need to have things to be able to take my children to, and Raleigh is the closest city to my parents, so maybe you could message me and let me know how you feel about it. All right, so let's look at your photos. So for the most part, your photos are nice. You have some nice close-ups here of your artwork, which is beautiful. That really showcases what the artwork is. Of course, art is always subjective to everybody, but if you want to be attracting your target market, and your target market is going to be somebody who's going to love your artwork. So absolutely fine with having these nice close-ups of the actual artwork themselves. It definitely is enjoyable to look through your shop. It's almost like going to a gallery where you can kind of go from painting to painting, or watercolor to watercolor. So I kind of like that. I'm not a big fan of this on the green grass. It's just too dark, too busy. It doesn't flow well. I'm trying to kind of see how, if you have the banner up here, and it'll be this nice muted, creamy blush color, how that kind of flows. And it does. It flows well, I think, with your actual artwork itself and with the watercolors. Even the wood kind of fits in a little bit, but this green is way off. The same here. The paperweight is fine, but I'd probably have the paperweight instead on the box. This might be okay for a third or fourth or fifth picture. I'd probably have it perhaps on a roll of parchment, holding down the roll, or something like that, that flows with your branding and the rest of your photos. I would perhaps crop this a little bit more, because the books, even though it's kind of a cool backdrop, especially with your branding, it does take away from the actual item itself. So for the thumbnail, I would probably crop that in a little bit more. The same with this one, pretty much all of these. But I definitely think that your photos have improved, and I do really like the close-ups of the watercolors. I think those are beautiful. Your pricing, that you're using the 99-cent price point, which is very common in retail. I think that's great. You could also use the 95-cent price point, whichever you prefer. You're also pricing in good increments. You got $24.99, $39.99, $69.99, so that is wonderful. $13.99, I would drop that to $12.99 or mark it up to $14.99. The reason why, in between 10 and 20, there are certain price increments that are clicked on more. These are studies that have been done, basically researching the psychology of the e-commerce buyer or online shoppers. So anything between $9.99 and $19.99, you want to be, it goes from $9.99 to $12.99. Then it jumps to $14.99, then $16.99, and then it jumps to $19.99. So it's almost in twos. So this should be $14.99 or $12.99. I would raise it because I think that for the most part, craft business owners, artists, creatives, designers, I don't think they charge enough as it is. Make every day beautiful. I love, love, love your mixed media stuff. Be light, be brave, be strong. All right, let's look at your SEO. Also, this is $125. Because you're pricing with the 99-cent price point, I would make this a 9. So if you're using the 95-cent price point, then anything over 100, you want to use the left of the decimal point with the same numerical value that you have in this slot on your regular items. So if these are 99 cents on your regular items, then you want to make this a 9 as well. If this is 95, then you can make this a 5. So I would change that to 129 or 119 or 139 or 149 or 159 versus 125. Flourish, woohoo! Sparkle, joy, laugh, leap. Love this, love. Wonderful, absolutely beautiful. Very nice. Gorgeous. Okay, so you have original painting, mixed media collage art, 8x8 painting, inspiration painting, leap of faith, original art, painting, unique gifts. For the most part, I think those are great keywords. I don't know if I would put original painting as your first keyword. Your very first keyword or keyword phrase is your most important. It's the one that should be the most relevant to the item. So I feel that mixed media collage art is much more relevant than original painting. Although it is an original painting, of course, so that's relevant. I think that those keywords together, original painting, I feel that is a very general keyword. So I don't think that's probably benefiting you the most. So let's put mixed media collage art. Boom. Great, it's there. Now we'll do original painting, which is good. Let's try something else. Original mixed media art. That may be a little bit better too, a little bit more descriptive. You have 8x8 painting. There we go. That's a good one. Inspiration. That's good. Leap of faith. Okay. Good. So all the keywords that you're using are coming up in the search bar, which says that, hey, this is a popular search term. You are using a gift keyword. You're saying unique gift, which it is. But I perhaps would think of, some other things. You don't just want to describe the item. You also want to describe what it could be used for. Like, what about wall decor or office decor or studio decor? What about yoga studio decor? Or maybe tea room decor. That's something I could see in a tea house or tea room. Try to think of keywords like that, what you could use it for. And then of course, what you could gift it for. Unique gifts is good. Obviously, if you could use any seasonal or holiday gifts, like Mother's Day gift for right now might be a good one to put in here. I look at this and I see an angel. So, you know, maybe an angel mixed media. Let's see if they have that. No? Angel art, angel painting maybe. Yeah, angel painting with mixed media. Look at that. So I would just explore some other keywords. I think these are all great, but some of them are very general. See if you can put some more targeted keywords in there. Like again, what you could use it for, and or descriptive of the design on it itself. So gosh, Andrea, I think your shop is looking really good. You have some tweaks here and there that you need to make, but for the most part, it's coming together nicely. I really like it. I think after you make those tweaks, your next step would be to start really growing your own website and marketing across social media to really drive traffic to your Etsy shop and your own website. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. You know, you can contact me. You are in Flourish. You can contact me on the Club Flourish wall by tagging me. You can send me a PM on Facebook. You can reach me here on Etsy through Artisan Indie. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you want help for your craft business or your Etsy shop, or you're just not sure where to start, please join us in Flourish. Flourish is the #1 online community for craft sellers where we teach you how to sell online and in person to help grow your craft business. And you can learn more at www.artisanindie.com, and be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you can see more shop critiques and website critiques and other exciting content that we have coming down the pipeline. So thanks so much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.